Hello and welcome to another brand new Unsourced Radio. We're back again with Comrade Bullski and Judge Anon to do another round of guessing comics based on ridiculous anonymous reviews. I think I had a lot of fun last time. We had a lot of insane ones just to pour through. Ones that made me doubt my faith in humanity a little bit. But I'm excited. But let's introduce ourselves. Comrade, why don't you take the forefront?
Hello, I'm Comrade Bullski. My name is Andreas. I'm from Sweden, and I am a comics blogger and occasional podcaster, but mostly here with Elvis. I write about obscure comics online and do a little bit of research here and there. And sometimes I like to dig up horrible reviews for people to guess about, and that's tonight.
Well, everyone needs a hobby. Hello, everyone. My name is Judge Anon. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I write about comics, and sometimes I also write comics, and sometimes I help people write about comics or write comics. There's a lot of writing and comics going on, and sometimes when a blue moon shines in the sky, I also talk about comics.
And we all really appreciate that. But no, I'm glad to have both you guys on here. And again, I thought we had a lot of fun last time, and I just really hope this is gonna be fun as well. And I'm just really excited to get going into it, honestly. So,
Last time was amazing. Your reactions to it were perfect. It was exactly what I hoped for. It was actually funnier than that one about the Eternals comics that we did way back.
Yeah.
Because that one was very funny when you and me started talking about the Eternals Max series. That was about the same level of reactions. Very good stuff.
Underrated.
Underrated?
Honestly, pound for pound for pound, I can't think of a single Eternals comic, run that is as entertaining.
It is a million times better than the Gay Man run, like a million times, and I've said this before.
You know what? Things happen in it. Things happen.
All right. So, we're going to play a little game tonight. And this game is very simple. I have gone onto the most reputable source online where you can find reviews of things, namely Amazon.com, that wonderful institution. And I have gathered a number of savage, terrible, and borderline insane reviews of comic books. And you two are going to try to guess which comic this is about. It's going to be just like last time. There's going to be a varying degrees of clues in these reviews. Like some are probably going to be fairly impossible, and some are going to be pretty obvious. There's going to be a funny mix. I think we're going to start with an easy one. So just like last time, you don't need to pinpoint the exact volume or something like that we're talking about. Like if, for example, the comic in question is Hellboy and you say Hellboy, that's the correct one. You don't need to specify this is Hellboy Volume 7, the blah, 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 something like that. And tonight, to do something new from last time, we are going to exclusively deal in creator-owned and independent comics. So there is nary a Marvel or DC comic in sight tonight, actually. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel like we're going to get exposed. I'm going to get exposed.
I'm going to get exposed too.
We're both going to be like,
we're plebs.
Is it Spawn? And we're just gonna show.
If it's not like bare bones Image or IDW or whatever, or like something really notorious, I mean, come on.
I was. This is obviously a much wider topic than the last time, because famous Marvel and DC comics, they usually have a little bit higher publicity. Indie comics, that can be anything. So what I decided to do eventually is that I picked either really famous ones that you probably have heard of, or it's pretty recent, like last 10 years or so, series that have been big. So I haven't really delved too deep into obscure indie comics and stuff like that. I tried to find amusing reviews mostly. So I might give you a little bit of hints if it looks like this is too hard. So that's about it in terms of rules and regulations. It's mostly going to be, I think it's primarily Image and Dark Horse with like a little dash of other publishers in there. So you don't need to feel too worried that I'm going to delve into like obscure 1992 Malibu miniseries or something like that. How do you guys feel about starting this little exciting little contest?
Let's do it.
Yeah, take it away.
Yep, I think we'll do it like we did it last time, so you can both guess for each one, right? So you can sort of help each other, or you can try to trick each other to see if you can like psych each other out. So let's start. First review of the night. This is a 1-star review from Perverse. It
Hi,
was Perverse. It was deposited in 2023, so not too long ago. And this is a warm-up. This is an easy one. So here we go. I do not believe that the author's hypothesis with who and why the murders were committed has any chance of being true. I believe that the book just show perversion from the writers. It's a horrible book. I put my copy to trash. What comic is it?
Oh, that's got to be From Hell, right?
Ooh, From Hell. You think
know,
we're going to start with an Alan Moore masterpiece?
I think so, but my guess, because all that, I'll probably do Lost Girls. Every time someone says, like, "Oh, this is perverse or disgusting," I'm going with Lost Girls.
I like that we both went for more.
Well, I got this guy being too flowery gives him more vibe.
You guys are like, oh, it's got perversion in it. That's got to be an Alan Moore comic. There's got to be a lot of reviews talking about perversion tonight. I can tell you that already.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, Judge, you're going to get a point. This was From Hell. From Hell. It was a little bit hard to find good reviews, but I almost went with this one instead, From Hell. Hard to read, hard to tell most of the drawings, hard to keep the characters straight, and for me, hard to keep entertained. It's a no from me. But I was too obtuse. That could have been anything, basically.
Yeah. I like the guy saying, like, oh, the hypotheses are all wrong. Like, oh, God, oh, cool. we ran into, like, Jack the Ripper theorist over here.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that. Like when people talk about From Hell, it's a lot of like when I read the reviews for 300, by the way, a lot of them were like, "Oh, this is not historically accurate. Like this is not how the Battle of Thermopylae went, and like this is not how Xerxes looked." And I'm like, "Yeah, no. I mean, like obviously it's fiction. Like." I don't think that's the problem with that comic. Also, I didn't pick a 300 review for tonight because they're all about the racism. That's the everything. Every single review is about the racism in that book, and that was. I mean, we don't really need to go there.
Yeah.
All right, let's do another one. This is a 1-star review, and it's written by Scott M.D. Norma. I don't know if that's his real name. So here's what he wrote. Was this one of the more terrible stories you'd find in a heavy metal magazine back in the 80s? I'd check, but reading it wasted enough of my time. Mediocre art, a boring vision of dystopia, and completely uninteresting characters. I wouldn't read a synopsis of the rest of the series. If you tried to tell me how the rest of the story goes, I'd feign death and hope you'd go away. What comic is this?
Alice, you want to go first?
Oh, so we have
one of the Grendels, like the later Grendels.
One of the Grendels? Oh,
yeah, one of the later Grendels. Yeah, when it comes to post-apocalypse.
Interesting. Matt Wagner comic.
Yeah.
What do you think, Judge? What do you think it is?
Oh, I can't. I think it was Polish and Heavy Metal, but I'm gonna say the Incal.
It is the Incal. How the fuck did you know that?
Dystopia. because it said it was a
right.
My God.
female, and the
Yeah,
first
that's too big. You got rigged.
But how did you
Inca,
guess that?
Incal.
Lookful.
It is the
Lookful.
Inkle, yes.
As
Okay, the best thing
I
about
say,
this
My
review,
God.
the best
I
thing
said,
about this review is mediocre art. Like, my dude,
yeah, that was.
if you
Look,
want to complain about anything about the Inkal, it's not the art, okay?
And
Like,
like none of them had mediocre art at all. Even none of
like
them.
no, this
the
is
worst part is that
crazy.
I read that and I agree the characters are kind of bleh, but fuck
Oh
you
yeah,
on the
Yeah,
art,
no,
man.
yeah, no. Let's be honest. To go on a little bit tangent, before the Inkle is the best one.
Oh, hot take.
Before the Inkle is so good, man. I like the one I copy I have. I had like that's great. You know, it's a perfect story. And then like the Inkle, like what happened? What happened?
yeah. I mean,
Stuff.
that's often a thing with Mobius comics is that some of them are a little bit light on the story, but I don't really think that you can complain about the art in any Mobius story. Like saying that's mediocre art, I don't know what standards you have in that case. All right, all right, all right. Judge, you're on a hot streak right
Oh
now.
my God!
That's crazy. Is this rigged? Have we rigged this beforehand? We'll never know. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. So this is from Carissa Cool.
Hi, Chris.
She gave this book 1 star, of course. And she put in a little header for this review, and you guys are gonna like feel this is gonna be good. I know this is gonna be good. The header is the show is honestly better than the book this time, and here's the review.
Oh my God! We don't even need a review. It's the boys, right? It's the boys.
And please listen to the
I'll-
review
I'll-
first.
I'll-
Okay, was nothing like the show. It was super sexual and even more language than the show.
Oh my
The
God!
plot is nearly as good, and the characters are not nearly as relatable. What comic is it?
It's the boys. It's the boys.
What do you think it is, Judge?
Oh, I'm gonna say the voice too, but if it is, give it to Elvis because he said it first.
Yeah, I mean, so
No,
often.
no. If you both guess right, you both get a point. That's the
Damn it.
rules. Wait,
Damn
this is equality. It's not like a beeper situation. Also, you're both wrong. This is
What?
The Walking Dead. This is The
Oh
Walking
my
Dead.
God!
What?
The Walking Dead.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
of course.
To be,
There are.
to be fair, they're both bad.
Um,
To be fair, they're both bad. So
okay, I would say that The Walking Dead show is substantially worse than The Boys show, but I mean,
I'm talking
like-
about the Walking Dead comic show. They're both bad.
oh yeah, I mean. This was perhaps intentionally kind of obtuse from me.
Very
Nice.
obvious.
No, it's good. it's good.
I knew you would appreciate that. There were a lot of reviews of The Walking Dead which called it pornographic. Like I almost went with this one, which was just not suitable for kids, pure porn in spots.
All right.
I mean, there
That's
is
ridiculous.
there is nudity in that comic, and there are sex scenes, but I wouldn't call it pornographic. That's like a very wide definition of what pornographic means. I think I don't know.
The most US thing ever is to look at a comic book about like flesh-eating monsters and call it pornographic because there's a titty in one panel.
Right, exactly.
Flesh-eating monsters, and also that like humans are sometimes worse than the actual monsters. You know, like the
yeah.
inhumanity of man to man. But that's not important because there's a breast in this comic.
Pornographic.
Okay,
Ridiculous.
okay. Let's do another one. This is a 2-star review, so this isn't the worst thing that this guy has read ever. This is from Marcus Rangel, and this review is all the way back from 2012, from back like when we were still in the good timeline. Okay. Not every original idea is a good one. Not sure what this story was about, really. I've been reading graphic novels since I found The Dark Knight Returns among some magazines in my English school 25 years ago, and I never had any problems with bizarre themes. But this one was just too silly for me. Come on, a rabbit killer could be a good enemy for the Powerpuff Girls. What comic is this?
A rabbit killer.
A rabbit.
It's bizarre. It has bizarre themes. It's silly. Like, what's a silly comic? maybe a comic by a very famous comic book creator that's a little bit silly.
Mm. Oh God, what?
What do you think? What do you think, Elvis? What's a comic that where there's like that could be like a Powerpuff Girls episode?
Oh, my first thought went down. I hate Fairyland or something. That's not it. Can I remember anything about
Oh,
Killer
yeah,
Rabbit?
yeah. The Scotty Young one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very over the top comic for sure. Is there a rabbit killer in that? Do you know
No,
that?
exactly. No. I don't think so.
I mean, that's the one thing this guy was kind of zooming in on at the end here. What do you think, Judge? Do you have any ideas what this could be?
Like, if you tell me something that's silly and has like a rabbit, it's the order of the words that's throwing me. Because if it said Killer Rabbit, I would say it's Usagi Yojimbo. But
Mhm.
it's calling it a rabbit killer, and I'm like, what? What comic had a goddamn rabbit
Okay,
killer?
this is a bit hard, so I'm going to give you a clue from another review of the same comic.
Bless you.
The art is great animal-wise, but the art is horrible when it comes to human faces.
All
Their
right,
faces
W3.
look like butts.
WE3, We3.
What do you think, Judge?
No, it can't be W3 because that's. Oh no, wait, dumb.
One of
Vertigo,
the
Vertigo
one-
is creator owned. Oh, yeah, it's W3.
It is absolutely WE3.
Uh,
That was the Frank Quietly special.
the-
Their faces look like butts. That's the
What-
Frank Quietly special.
yeah, once again
Ridiculous.
we have run into that most filthy and disgusting of creature guy who doesn't like Frank Quietly.
Yes, there's a lot of those people here. So Vertigo is not all of Vertigo is creator owned, but some of Vertigo is definitely creator owned, and I believe that We3 is. I could be wrong, but I do think it is. I just went with the ones that weren't like that. I know that Sandman and Hellblazer obviously are owned by DC, but you know. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's do this one. Let's do this one. Let's see. Oh, which one should I? I'm gonna take this one. So this is a 2-star review again. So this isn't quite the bottom of the barrel here, from Justin, and he said this: I don't really understand what the raving is about. ... So TLDR. It starts with TLDR. Overall, it's a series of character with no growth, driven almost entirely by base emotional instincts such as lust, revenge, and fear, set in an otherwise interesting universe. I read this in hopes something truly interesting would happen, but it did not in these 1,300 pages, at least for me. Your mileage may vary, though. We are all interested in different things. What comic is this? He's read 1,300 pages of this comic. What indie comic has had 1,300 pages and is like has a lot of good reviews? What do you think?
Cerebus? Who knows, man?
Yeah, I think it's Cerebus.
Cerebus is way more than 1,300 pages.
Oh, that was like a limit. I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was like the hard line limit.
Do you want another hint?
Yes,
For
please.
this? Because I have more reviews that I can pull some hints from. Okay, so hipster, coolsy, shallow, and slow paced. Art is pretty lousy as well. The only thing that is not a complete crap is in this whole series are the covers. What do you think?
Could be anything.
It's hipster. It's 1,300 plus pages of hipster comic in an exciting
Zot.
universe with boring characters.
Zot. Is it Zot?
Zot? Oh,
Zot.
Zot. That's an interesting call.
What
do you think,
For
Judge?
me, is it Scott Pilgrim Against the World?
You're both wrong. It's Saga.
Whoa! Who cares about Saga? That
Brian.
Sorry, but who remembers Saga? Honestly,
Oh, it's still going. I think.
is it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're still releasing Saga occasionally.
No,
They-
I don't
they-
think so. When was the last issue of Saga?
I don't believe you. Okay, I don't know.
I'm gonna look this up right now. We're gonna see what.
You didn't get it from the hipster comment.
Okay, I guess they are still releasing Saga, but
See,
still.
there you go.
This is very few and far between.
And no points for either of you, I'm afraid. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do this one. I'm just gonna make sure that there's no spoiler in the review, because sometimes they have the name of the title inserted somewhere in there. Let's do this one. So this is a 1-star review from PR, and it's Ultimate Crap. And he starts off this review by saying Volume 1 is even more incoherent than Volume 1. I don't know why he didn't start by reviewing Volume 1, because I didn't find a review from this guy, but it's quite a challenge to understand what's going on. In general, I like science fiction, but science part totally lacks in a comic book title. How can crystals fuel a starship? It's just rubbish. A reviewer is comparing this comic to Mobius. I think that's sacrilegious. What comic is this?
Crystal's Starship.
Crystal Starship. It's science fiction. Like that's not a spoiler. People are comparing it to Mobius. Like maybe it's a little bit high concept, like big picture science fiction stuff.
Big picture science fiction stuff with crystal. Well, first of all, I want to take a moment to laugh at this guy because he's talking about like hard sci-fi and then brings up Mobius.
Yep.
Yeah, that famous hard sci-fi guy, Mobius.
Which is more fantasy, honestly. Like,
Calm down.
Do you want another hint? I think we're gonna do a couple of hints this time, because these are a lot harder. It's harder to do just from the one review. Okay, so here's a hint. Guy wakes up in a strange world with a mission. The first 2 chapters are incredible. It makes no difference where the character is, but then he reaches his goal so quickly, and he is helped by his clones? ? And then there's a bunch of more question marks.
Helped by his clones.
Yeah, he wakes up in a strange world. It's science fiction. Maybe in the far future. What do you think it is? Judge, you have read this comic. I'm pretty sure you read this comic. I think we've talked about it.
So something European then. American.
He did compare it with Mobius. So maybe it's in that genre, that style. Maybe this was too obscure, actually. Do you want to take like a wild guess, either of you?
Yeah.
Like a stab in the dark? Come on, Ellis, do something. Guess for anything.
Crystals, clones.
Crystals and clones. It's a guy waking up in the future.
And it's confusing and weird.
It's by a very famous creator again.
Fucking Rogue Trooper.
That's
wrong. It's wrong.
In the right genre, like you're in the same area of truth right now. What do you think? Do you have a guess, Judge, or gonna forfeit?
Oh no, I'm backing out of this one. I have
it's Brandon Graham's Prophet.
Oh my God, Prophet! Oh my God!
Have you not read that one? That's really good.
I've read Prophet. I love Prophet.
That's a really good comic. He wakes up and he's got all of his clones with him.
It is really good. But
it is really good, and it tries to be.
Who's read it recently? Honestly, who's read it recently?
I'm afraid that not so recent events have
memory
hold Brandon Graham.
that might be a problem. But I like though that this guy, he was like, "How can crystals fuel a starship?" That's the big question about that comic.
That comic is all over the place. I don't know why he would. It's very wacky. It's a wacky comic.
How can crystals fly? How can crystals fuel a starship? This Star Trek show is highly unrealistic.
Yeah, exactly. Another review was like, incoherent story, overflowing with references to culture, species, and technologies that have no bearing on the story. That's world building, dude. Like, that's what world building is in science fiction. You don't have to feature everything in the comic. Oh, yeah? Okay. Let's see here. Yep. let's do this one. Oh, now it's just gonna be very, very fun here. So we have a review from. This is a much more recent comic. I'm gonna say ahead of time. Gregory Alt-Peter has given us this 2-star review, and he says this. This is a pretty easy one, I think. I was looking for a sci-fi western and somehow got neither. This is all the trappings of a western, the dusters, the six guns, etc. But it has none of the themes, settings, or tropes of a western. And the larger narrative is like somebody just wrote a bunch of cool things they liked and just wrote a story around that. That can work, but this story is just stapled together poorly and makes little sense. What is it?
Oh, I'm gonna say it's East of West.
Ooh, a Jonathan Hickman classic. Do you think I would bring in Jonathan Hickman again? I did that in the last one.
I mean, East of West sounds okay. I'm gonna go obscure. Okay, we're on a roll of all this zero stuff, so I'm gonna go Blueberry.
Blueberry, but the sci-fi western, though? Like, he did say he was looking for a sci-fi western.
I missed the sci-fi stuff.
Oh, do you? Yeah, because I mean, that's. I don't think you would look at Blueberry and go like, "Oh, this might be sci-fi."
I didn't hear the sci-fi.
Yeah, no, sure.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. Judge seems like he's on the ball. I can't think of anything sci-fi westerny. It's not the kind of thing I seek out usually.
Yeah, it is East or West, absolutely.
Yeah.
Finally, I need to catch up on that. Aren't they releasing like a new collection soon?
Oh, I hope so. I haven't caught up. I haven't been.
Do you think Jonathan? Do you think
the first two arcs?
Do you think Jonathan Hickman is gonna finish this comic?
Wait, did it finish? Or
no,
not?
I said, do you think that he's going to finish it, or is he just gonna leave it for like 5 years that he's done with a bunch of his other comics?
Well, East and West never finished. Jesus.
No, I don't think it's finished. I think it left off without concluding all of the storylines in the last volume, and he was like, "Oh, I'm probably coming back to this eventually."
I
don't know.
Oh wait, I think maybe he didn't, because I think it was gonna be like 4 years, and he only did like year,
which
year
is
3.
Which is I think also what happened with the Manhattan projects. It also didn't end.
Jonathan Hickman says it's better to fade out than burn away.
All right, are you guys ready for another review?
I mangled that.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a review from a fellow named Saber Forge, and he's given this a 1 star. It starts off with, "It's really bad. I only made it 40 pages." And he wrote this: "I was expecting something Warhammer 40k-esque. Instead, I got a bizarre combination of childish, cheesy, and weird sexuality. Take a pass on this one." What is it? So 40k-esque. We're back in science fiction again.
40k-ish.
What do you think? If you look at a comic and you look at something that maybe is like a space opera with like empires and big histories and crazy stuff happening in space, do you know any comic like that comes to mind? That also has a bunch of weird sexuality in it.
But he said it was childish too.
Childish and cheesy.
Childish, cheesy, big Warhammer 40 I have one, but it's like it feels like it'd be too
Dumb.
obscure.
Go for it.
What is it?
There's that about a year or two ago, there was a Greg Rucka comic called The Forged that had like giant power armors and big galactic empires, but there was also some weird sexuality stuff in there as well.
I have not read this comic, I can tell you that already, but that doesn't mean I won't put them on this list, though. The Forge?
I'm going to go with The Forge.
Yeah. It's not The Forge. This is the Meta Barons by...
oh my god! Oh my god!
I thought that was an easy one, because that is something...
How is that
if you were
the Mad Barons is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece.
The famous childish thing.
But you can see though that if if you're an idiot and you looked at the meta balance, you
Okay,
might think that is a 40k thing, right?
That's why this is so difficult because we're all very cultured here.
Yeah, we're all
I
man of
thought that
culture.
maybe the weird sexuality thing would be the tip off because there definitely is a bunch of weird
The
sexuality in that.
the childish thing threw me off. So I was thinking like cartoony and like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like exaggerated drawings. That Burns is amazing. My God.
But I'm not exaggerating when I say I tried to take the biggest names in comics like for this. So I think you in general just you try to think about like the most famous comics that you can think of. That often is the ones that I've picked. But yeah, that was. There were a lot of reviews of Meta Barons which were like, "Oh, this is totally incomprehensible. I don't understand a word of it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think you tried too hard, honestly, because I mean, it's not that confusing, or is it?
We'll never know.
We will never know, presumably." All right.
Our asses
Uh,
are being shown so hard.
Yeah, but that's the fun part about
to be
this.
fair, I think we've heard of most of these. Is that the reviews are so difficult.
Yeah.
We started okay. We started giving a couple good guesses, and now it's just full on. Look at these filthy casuals.
Hey,
That's the good thing. I mean,
Meta
that's
is amazing. Okay.
great thing about this, right? Okay, let's do another one. So this is a 2-star review from Trakav, and he writes repetitive and kind of boring. Very repetitive storyline and unfolding. This character gets called to solve a mystery, gets beat up, and by incredible twist of fate, he prevails by punching the final boss. What comic is it?
Okay, see, this is impossible.
Repetitive. It's a mystery solving comic. Maybe it's like about investigations. And there's a lot of punching in it. Like the main character punches a bunch of people or maybe even monsters.
I got it.
Oh,
It's a strange talent of Luther Strode.
Luther Strode. That's a really good comic. Actually, do you think it's somebody would hate Luther Strode?
I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh. Is this your review of Luther Strode? Did you submit this?
1 star.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you think, Judge?
I'm gonna be the first one. I'm gonna be the inaugural person to say Hellboy.
It is Hellboy.
Yeah.
How does that? Okay.
Repetitive, and he always wins by punching the final boss. Yes, that's the most reductive view you can take of Hellboy possible.
Jesus.
Nothing else matters. It's just that he wins by punching the final boss. Yep, sure, that's
God.
Hellboy. This person is. I don't think this person is very good at reading. That's just my guess.
Good God.
I think the problem here, Elvis, is that you sort of expect these people to have like logical arguments behind the reviews.
That's it.
You're like, they can't possibly be this stupid. They are this stupid. Spoiler alert.
I'm just happy that I knew there was gonna be at least one Hellboy review, and I am so glad I nailed it.
Yep. I mean, there is at least one Hellboy review in this.
Oh boy.
Maybe there's more. All right, let's do another one. So this is from Sean, like that weird Irish spelling of Sean, like SIOBD.
Siobhan.
Yeah, Siobhan. And they have given this 1 star. And it starts off with is long, is dumb, is Gnostic. You guys know what Gnostics are, right? Like
GNOS
philosophy thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's important for this review because you need to know like approximately what Gnostic means. So here's the review. I mean, it was no fun at all. They had thousands of years and couldn't come up with a better solution than what they tried. The Gnostic flip to the idea of good and evil is live on scene 2. Careful about that. I'm glad that this reviewer took the time to warn the creators. Even then, The dialogue and seemingly endless storytelling needed a total rewrite. It's just bad, it's boring and bad, like don't waste your brain. But the diversity is nice. It's the reality of our neat, pretty planet built by an honestly clever and loving creator. Those who think it's pandering to show differences need to get out more. If that's you, don't feel bad. None of us know what we don't know. So that's nice at the end there. They hate this, but they think that it's nice that it has some diversity. But what is it?
The Action Bible. Yeah.
Oh, Action Bible. Ooh,
Huh?
that's a good choice. It's Gnostic apparently. It's got a flip about good and evil. It's thousands of years of history. It has like a diversity in it. What do you think it could be, Judge?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that this reviewer sounds profoundly fascinating as a person.
Like, what are they going for?
This is obviously a Christian reviewer, like a fairly devoted Christian reviewer. But I do think I like that they like commented at the end that it's nice that it's diverse. Like it shows different people from different cultures and stuff like that. So it's obviously not like a crazy Christian person. They just really hate this particular thing.
They're not into Gnostics, you know.
They really don't like Gnostics. No, absolutely not. Which is a time-honored tradition in Christianity. You don't like Gnostics. What do you think it is, Judge?
How many Gnostic comics are there? Oh boy.
No, something where the god or the gods are revealed to be like evil in the story. Maybe that's the Gnostic message of this. I'm not saying it is, but maybe it is.
Oh fuck! What was that? What was that? Was it called Super Gods? No, but that's way too obscure. That's way too.
Oh, Super Gods. That's by Grant Morrison.
No, that was Super
that
God
was
by
a-
Warren Ellis. The Warren Ellis.
Oh,
that's
Super
the one
God
I'm thinking.
by Warren Ellis. Right.
Yeah, but that was like 10 years ago. Ain't no fucking
Yeah,
way.
I mean, sure. That some of these reviews are 10
But
years old.
I'm gonna go with that one just because I want to hear the answer.
Yeah, I know. At this one, I'm just more interested in hearing the
Oh,
answer.
this is the Eternals movie.
Oh, you suck. We're also, hey, but we're also the reviewer is spot on. Spot on.
The review is actually fairly accurate in terms of the plot, and I also like that they did. I like I gave you a hint. I did say maybe the god or the gods are revealed to be evil. That was your big hint here. Yeah. Okay.
But accurate because the ending of that movie really is terrible.
It is accurate. This was just for you, Elvis, by the way.
But it reflects the reality of the world, and that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, the person was not a racist. That's way above most of the reviews for the Eternals. Like
exactly, they saw those reviews like, oh man, if I say something bad about this, they're gonna think I'm a racist. Gotta cut them off at the task.
This world needs more weirdos who are not racist.
Yeah.
Like this is the kind of people I want to see in the world. I want to see more guys who get super weird about like Christian sects, but they're not racist.
Oh yeah, like the whole Gnostic thing feels like that's like 2,000 years too late to be mad about. But like some people are still convinced that also, maybe that's the big devil.
Before we move on with this, I want to say that it's hilarious that they say that they had like 1,000 years to write this plot, as if the Gnostics had been writing the plot of the Eternals.
No, I
think they were thinking like, basically the whole thing is like, how do we stop the sleeping Eternal, right?
Yeah, I think they meant the Eternals themselves, that they had thousands of years to plan for this eventuality. Which isn't exactly true in this. No, okay, we're not going to review the Eternals again. We've done this 3 times already.
It's true for Icarus, but it's not true for the rest of them.
Yes. Okay. Good. That was the only trick in this set of reviews. So you cleared that one. So the next one. Now we're back to comic books now, I promise. So here is a review. 1 star out of 5. And it's from Rue for Repeat. Starts great, then destroys itself. This series starts great, but then destroys itself and twists the story and characters to fulfill ultra-leftist narrative points
Must be
at the
anything.
at the expense of the story and character consistency. I don't recommend to waste your time and money going into this just to see the whole thing go into the trash bin. It became a cultural phenomenon.
Joker
What?
too.
We're not doing movies.
But the Joker 2, I mean, that's not a creator-owned project.
Oh, so was the
Well,
Eternals, okay? So like,
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. That's true. Do you think that Todd Phillips is gonna like buy the rights to the Joker? That would be fun.
He can have him.
You know.
Oh yeah, God. What do you think this is, Judge? What do you think this is?
I think it's Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass. Ooh, we haven't had a Mark Millar comic yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick ass too.
What do you think it is? Oh, Kick-Ass. This was Invincible, actually.
Oh, what?
So no, that's close. That's in the same ballpark, I
It's in the
think.
same ballpark. If I don't I think Invincible is so straightforward. I don't even know what they're talking about. They must be talking about some sort of specific story arc, because
Ultra leftist narrative points. I mean,
What? Yeah, we all remember,
Invincible.
we all remember that time when like Invincible started the communist revolution.
That's a very strange complaint. There, I almost went with this review because like it just made me laugh. I mean, this is obviously impossible, but this review is I didn't like it because it's in English. It's from Invincible, which is.
I mean,
it's great. It's great. I think it's somebody who accidentally ordered like an English copy, that like an international customer. But it's so funny that like, oh, I don't like this. It's in English. It's English. English people suck. Oh, my goodness. All right. So, are you guys ready for another one? Oh, I feel this might be a little bit too tricky. I might actually need to go back to like
any
Marvel
trickier
and
than the
DC
other
stuff.
ones.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, I knew this was going to be hard when I started this because
well, this
there's
is the
less
final
common.
boss that we need to punch out to finish
Yeah.
the story.
But I think if anything, this will be like a fun little expose of what we have read and what we haven't read.
The thing is, right? I feel like we've read all of these. Just that the reviews are hard, making us look dumber than we are.
Correct. I mean, to be totally fair, some of the reviews last time were fucking impossible as well. Like, you guys remember that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do another one. And this is one that I know that at least Judge has read this one because we discussed this. So this is from Yav, and they have given this 2 stars, and the title is Furry Fan Service. Now, before I start this, I want to say I've already spoiled to both of you that I did not have a Black Sad review on this. This could have been Black Sad.
I
but
know
it's
what it is.
not.
It's the Lavish
I
2 Chronicles Origins.
I promise it's not. Okay, so here's the review. With all the awards, I had high hopes, but I found the story thin and lacking. The story feels like a random walk. This grim and dark world should feel dangerous, but the protagonist is too powerful. There is no sense of urgency or danger. Emotion is conveyed through the use of a 4-letter word for copulation, presumably fuck. The art is good but lacks motion. The blend of human and animal shape varies between good and terrible. In the end, it feels like a furry fan service set in a grimdark world that does not quite manage to be believable. What is it?
Sweet Tooth.
Oh, Sweet Tooth. That's yeah, sure, because that's got animal people in it. What do you think? It's got the art is good, but it lacks motion. What do you think it is, Judge? You have read this comic. I'm almost certain you read this comic.
Don't say that to me.
It has anthro people in it. It has a very powerful protagonist. What do you think?
I have one other guess. If it's not Sweet Tooth.
Anthro people, and they say fuck, and
oh yeah, I mean they say fuck in pretty much everything on this list, but
because these are indie comics, baby.
We are sure.
That's to say fuck.
That's the difference from corporate comics is that you can say fuck in them.
One other guess.
Well, I'll let Judge do a guess first, so he doesn't get like totally confused. What do you think it is, Judge?
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
The gears are grinding real slow right now. What do you think it is, Elvis? What's the second? What's your
What's
second?
your second guess?
My second guess was let's see here. Um, okay, my second guess was Tank Girl.
Does Tank Girl have furry characters in it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it has.
yeah, it does.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure.
Oh,
It
guys,
does.
it's not Tank Girl. We're screwed again.
Oh, no, this is Monstrous.
Okay, I don't care. I haven't. I haven't.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know Judge has read this. This is by Marjorie Liu.
Yeah, Sana Takeda.
Sana Takeda art, which I think is the art that they're complaining about. But furry
Fuck 'em,
porn,
by the
what-
way.
like that's not exactly what I would complain about with that comic. I can admit that the protagonist is pretty overpowered in that. That's a decently valid complaint. But like the furry thing, like weird. Why are you focusing on that? Like that's like the lady doth protest too
Why
much kind of thing.
Why are you focusing so much on that, Bullski?
Exactly. Why am I focusing on that? Who knows? And maybe I have a persona. Maybe the Titanium Man is my persona. All right, let's do this one. Let's do one that is a comic that both of you have absolutely read. And you're not going to get it anyway because the reviews are insane. So this is 1 star from Dave. Is it you, Elvis?
Dave.
It might be me. It might be me.
Is this you? It might be. One of the few exceptions where the screen adaptation, it might be a show, it might be a movie, unclear, is far superior to the original. I loved this, but I hated the comic. I found it so aggressively homophobic and misogynistic that I found pages difficult to read. Even if you take out the cringe, the storylines are hard to follow and have very weak character development. What is it?
Clear the boys this time. You try to guess before the boys. This is the boys. This is clear the boys.
What do you
One of
think
these
it is,
has
Elvis?
to be the boys.
What do you think, Elvis? What do you think, Judge? Is it the boys?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the boys.
It is the boys.
Yeah.
You've done it. You've done
One of
it.
them had to be it.
One of them had to be. I knew that they'd be all wrong, but one of them had to be wrong.
No, yeah. I mean, this is very. There are so many 1-star reviews of the boys comic. You have no idea. It's like
I know.
10. It's 10 pages at least on Amazon with just 1-star reviews.
You know what? It is so funny that the boys has shat the bed so bad that like it's like the sound of angels singing, like oh my, thank you so much, boys show writers, for being really terrible. That's so terrible that not even your biggest fans can really defend what you're doing. It's wonderful. It's fucking amazing.
I think because the boys show has attracted so much attention that's basically why people have decided that they need to be experts on the comic as well.
If they're experts, they know it's a masterpiece. Okay.
I mean, experts, derogatory parentheses,
Oh, I saw the YouTube video, and this means everything. Or, this is too raunchy. Anyway, let me gas up like the episode where there's a giant dick that triangles people. No, that's just sophisticated satire there.
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, like
Okay.
that's not even that's not even what Love Sausage does in the comic. Okay, it's not even what he does. He just has a giant dick in the comic. That's it.
Also, I like that this reviewer is like, "Oh, the character development this week." I think the character writing is like the best thing about the boys. Like that's the best thing about that comic.
It is, and like that's why it's how you can tell they didn't read the comic or they were just skimming through the pages just to get through it.
I don't think these people have read the comic. I think they're just going off, as you say. This is third-hand reviewing based on what somebody else said.
No. I remember like when, back when the last season of the show ended, and there was like a bunch of discourse about, is the show better? It's kind of better. Someone was like, "Oh man, Billy is so like he doesn't even care about the stuff he does in the comic." Like, yes, that's the point. He's losing his sense of humanity. He's becoming detached.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
Imagine getting filtered by Ennis.
I know,
Imagine,
right? Like
imagine
they,
getting filtered by Garth Ennis comics.
it's like getting filtered by Snyder. Like they on the sleeves. They're wearing multiple stuff on their sleeves. Okay, ridiculous.
With the difference that, like, yeah. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Okay, 1 star again, and it's from Zaguire, and he starts off with, "I really, really did not enjoy this story." And he repeats it again. "I really, really did not enjoy this story. It was hard to follow and bizarre all the way around. If the combination of aliens, technology, robots, alternate universes, cannibalism, and Oval Office orgies sound appealing to you, then go for it. Needless to say, I will not be picking up the second volume." What is it?
Oh, it sounds like a great time.
Oh, there's
Repeat-
robots,
yeah.
alternate universes, Oval Office orgies. Oh, what could this be? This is this is a modern comic as well. This isn't like some older stuff.
What's
Alternate
there?
universes. Um,
What's there?
Office orgy.
What's a modern comic that has like a heady mix of like just every sci-fi comic concept just thrown in there?
See, I want to say the Manhattan Projects, but I can't remember if that one had an orgy in the Oval Office.
I'm gonna say something
That is-
noir.
Jonathan Hickman, known for writing a lot of orgies. Oh wait, yeah, Krakoa. Shit, that had like orgy parties,
Yeah, that
right?
was Orgy Island.
Shit, yeah, you're right. Maybe it is. Maybe this is a Jonathan Hickman comic. What do you think, Elvis?
All right, I'm gonna guess something Mark Millar. I don't remember any orgies recently, but
Oh goodness!
Maybe.
What? Youngblood Bloodsport has an orgy in it, but it's not Youngblood Bloodsport. I can reveal that already. He made one issue of that, and then Rob Liefeld ran out of money and couldn't pay him to do any more, so it's unfinished. Sadly, or fortunately for the world. What do you think, Elvis? Is it Nemesis? Maybe.
I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. I'm stuck.
It is the Manhattan Projects. You are correct.
Woo! Phew.
That
I complete. So
Fa-
much happened on that book, and I just forgot about the.
Oh
origin.
yeah, that book is just everything in the kitchen sink in it. Also, the unfinished. That book doesn't have an ending as well.
I'm always going to remember Hickman saying, "Yeah, so Albert Einstein is the Wolverine of our comic."
Yes, I mean,
and he meant that.
yeah, I mean in the sense that Albert Einstein cheated on his wife, and Wolverine is trying to cheat on Cyclops' wife. Right? That's the logic behind this.
Absolutely, and nothing else.
I mean, they both have weird hair. Okay, that's the connection, right?
Also, wow, man, Comrade Bullski giving a call out post for Albert Einstein.
Mm.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize to all the Albert Einstein stans out there.
All the Einsteins.
Einstein. Oh, very good.
Einstein.
Very good.
You're
All
welcome.
right.
You can have that one for free.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. We're going to do this one. I don't think either of you have read this comic, but I'm going to read this, and you're going to get to guess it anyway. And because this review is just fucking chef's kiss, I needed to include this.
Wow.
So this is a 1-star review. It's from Gratch Holloway, and the title of it is "Overwhelming Propaganda." So you know we're in for it now.
Yeah.
Great art and an entertaining read. Bizarre story that is too often on the nose. Far left propaganda piece masquerading as an edgy cyberpunk tale. No asinine leftist politics or ideologies in my comics, please. When I was young, it was fun, mysterious, and diverse to be punk. We wore tube socks and had chains. Today's message is your doctor has misgendered you, and white men in suits are evil pigs. I wonder if these propaganda pieces are even hitting their target audience. What is this comic? It's cyberpunk, and it's far left propaganda apparently. I don't think you can guess this. I don't think either of you have read this comic. The review is fantastic, though. Do you want to guess, Judge?
Is it?
Oh, you're googling.
No,
You're
I was not
googling it.
doing, but is it Bitch Planet?
Ooh, the C. Willow Wilson masterpiece. What do
No,
you
I
think,
think
Elvis?
I would have guessed Bitch Planet too.
Oh no, that was Bitch Planet was Kelly Sue DeConnick. Yeah, right. Exactly. It is Bitch Planet. How the fuck did you know that?
Oh,
How
ooh.
did you guess that? That was impossible to guess from that review. Are you
I, th-
cheating?
I am not cheating at all, but here's the thing. I think that some comics inflame certain passions into assholes. Like, if this was a sci-fi comic with with lefty stuff, which can mean anything. It's a
Oh,
cyberpunk comic and there's an evil corporation. Oh, that's lefty politics. But the fact that they had to go out of their way to mention all the woke stuff
hmm
tells me, oh, this was one of those comics that people talked about on their shitty forums. Like, this was something
like
that pissed people off.
yeah, like the Captain Marvel comics. Like if you go into
Right,
those
right.
reviews,
This is something that pisses this guy off specifically, and the one that I came to mind was, oh yeah, Bitch Planet,
it's also funny
which
to
you
me.
were absolutely right. I did not read.
I've not read it either. It's probably fine. I do like that this review starts with saying that the comic is good, but I hate it because it's like propaganda. Like, yeah, okay,
No,
your
it's yeah,
brain rot
no.
is very powerful, my
I,
dude.
I've heard that so many times. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how many times you hear that where it's like, they'll literally say it. I remember when Doom Patrol first came out. A lot of these fan rage people channel be like, "Man, Doom Patrol's first episode is good, but also it played too much with woke themes for my taste." You know,
Yeah,
and like you're just working against yourself. You know,
You can hear the cognitive dissonance in their voice.
yeah.
it's like it's what do they say these days is that like it's woke until it gets popular, and then it's not woke anymore because then you need to like explore the algorithm. Like
Exactly.
if you're a
It,
grifter,
Yeah,
it's woke until it
it
gets
makes popular. Yeah.
yeah,
it's woke until it gets popular or until the next woke thing comes out, and then
yeah.
we can say no, our old woke things were better than the new woke things because they were more
Yes.
subtle.
Oh yeah, you get that. That you get a lot. That's like when people talk about like oh the X-Men comics have gone woke. Like oh, like wasn't the 1975 relaunch just like characters from different countries, and it was like a black woman and a Native American and stuff, and they're like no, that's not the same thing. Like that's good woke. That's not bad woke. Like
Someone actually mentioned this to one of the bigger, grifters, years ago. I was there when they mentioned it, right? And I saw their response was this, like, the question was, but what about, like, say, Ripley from Alien or Sarah Connor?
oh
Wouldn't they be considered woke? And like, no, they wouldn't be considered woke because they were made before it was an agenda. If they were made now, yes, they would be part of an agenda to make them, but they were made without an agenda, so that makes them good. So basically, they were admitting that, like, it doesn't matter if you have a character that's entertaining. If
yeah,
it's made now, you can't support it because it's part of like a plot.
the
You know,
conspiracy.
it's part of a conspiracy. It's part of the culture war. So they need like, oh,
Yeah.
but this would be good, but unfortunately, I just know it's trying to trick me.
Yeah. They're trying to
Disgusting.
mind trick you. Man, can you guys imagine if they released Aliens, the James Cameron one, today? Can you imagine how fucking mad people will be that like Ripley is going around and that she's the one who kills the alien queen and everything in that?
I
Like
will. I'm going to
people
tell
would
you what
be shitting themselves in anger over that movie if that came out today.
they would be so mad that there's not like a single traditionally beautiful woman in this movie because
Oh
everyone
yeah.
looks like a man and they would be transvestigating Vasquez.
Oh, and she rescues
This should just
Hicks in it. Like, oh no, the white male hero is like incapacitated and has to be rescued by a woman. Like, fuck the wokeness. My goodness.
James Cameron, you hack.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, in some other regards, perhaps yes, but
I mean, let's be honest. Aliens isn't as good as Alien to begin with.
well,
There
I
we
mean
go.
that depends entirely what kind of movie you're in the mood
Facts. It
for.
depends on facts and reality.
Well, at
It
least
just-
you didn't say. At least you didn't say that Alien 3 is the best. one.
Alien 3 is the second best one.
No, that
Oh,
no.
Alien 3 is like a fine wine, just gets better with age.
Alien 3, a movie which the director of Alien
Well,
3
he's
says
wrong.
that he
He's
hates
wrong.
that movie more
You know-
than anybody else on earth.
Well, to be fair,
Alien-
David Fincher also ruined Fight Club, so he's wrong about a lot of things.
Oh baby.
He made it and then he also ruined it.
Did he
Is
ruin
that
Fight
what you're
Club?
saying? Is
It's
that what you're
based- it's
saying?
based on a
No, I
book.
meant Alien 3. Did you say that he both made it and he
No,
ruined it?
no,
and
I'm
also-
talking about Fight Club. He made
Oh,
Fight Club, and he ruined that. He ruined the movie of Fight Club. Honestly, I hate it so much. So he's wrong about a lot of things.
Oh, we need to get back on track. We need to get back to guessing reviews.
Comics.
Terrible reviews. We need to get back to comics.
Let's see.
This is a 2-star review, and it's from JG, and he says, or they say, I should say, I didn't like it. Too hard to follow, and the female characters were overly emotional, needy, and stupid. The attempts to be deep and speculate on the date of humanity annoyed me. The date of humanity? I have no idea what that means.
What's it spelled?
By the end, I just didn't care. Too much work for too little payoff. What is this? What comic is this?
How's it spelled? How's the date spelled?
DATE, like
That's weird.
yeah, but it's
Maybe
very
it's
weird.
a typo. Maybe it's like the death of humanity, and it ended
Yeah.
with
Maybe.
date.
Maybe.
Possibly
A date with death.
a date. Yeah, like the final date of something. I don't know. What do you think this is, Elvis? What do you think?
Fuck if I know.
It's long. It's complicated. It has female characters who are emotional and needy and stupid, and it's a lot of
Service.
work for little payoff.
Service. More service.
Oh goodness! Oh, the female characters in that comic. That's something you could like talk about for a long time. Just make a whole. I mean, other people have already talked about Dave Sim like slowly going insane. But what do you think, Judge? What do you think this is?
Yeah, I'm not sure on this one. I still think that it's the death of humanity, and that was like an autocorrect, but I can't really think of one right now.
This is Watchmen.
Jesus Christ.
No, it's not. Fuck off. Huh?
It is. I'm sorry. I
What?
okay. Can we please agree that Watchmen probably should be a creator-owned comic?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it makes sense that it's on this list then, right?
It's a...
Yeah.
I just wanted that review in there, okay? It's just, I'm sorry.
That's a strong one.
It is a good review of Watchmen, though, like just focusing on the female characters and then saying that it's too much work for the payoff. I mean, that's...
You know what? You see why they're so hard? Because they're in nonsense. These are just nonsense.
I know. Okay, let's do an easier one instead. Let's do a comic that you have both read, that I know that you've both read in this case.
We've almost read all of these.
Yeah.
It's amazing because it's like once we have read, we were not able to guess, and once we haven't even touched, it was like, yeah, it's that one.
Well, you guessed Bitch Planet that you hadn't read.
Somehow.
Okay, so 1 star from Luciano Aldana. Luciano S. Aldana. And the header is like reading a porno comic. It started good and gradually turned into a porno magazine by deviant minds. I wanted to know how the story would end, but half through the story got so bad that I decided to delete it and take a loss. What do you think this is?
Cross.
This is a Faust?
Yeah, Faust.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know what Faust is. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I heard you right. What do you think?
The
I think you need to think a lot more famous than Faust.
Oh, Faust is pretty famous. Is that a movie?
Sure.
The movie, which is like 9%. Oh my god, that comic! I keep trying to read it. It's like it's nonsensical.
It is impossible. I found it impossible to read.
It's all over the place. The movie until like the last 30 minutes, is like a good summary of the comic. It's like a really good
Mm.
summary.
I haven't seen the movie. I didn't even
movie-
know there was a movie. I don't think.
The movie adapts like the first 13 or so issues because it wasn't it didn't end by that point. So like most of it was also the screenplay was written by like the person who wrote the comic, I think. So it's
Right.
like a good summary, and then they make up an ending because like the ending wouldn't come out till like 10 years after the movie came out.
What do you think it is, Judge?
Uh,
The pornographic. He wanted to see how the story ends, but he gave up. Please bear in mind that the definition of pornographic is perhaps not exactly accurate.
What you or I would expect.
No, not for people who have been on 4chan at some point. You probably.
Boy, is it Miracle Man?
No, it's the boys again.
My God!
I needed to have another terrible boys
no,
review in here.
No, I know. I was going to guess the boys originally too, like, but he wouldn't do boys again.
I needed to have at least 2 boys reviews in here. Come on.
Once again, a comic that starts with a whole head getting stomped the fuck on. It only becomes bad when there's a titty in there.
Yep, I mean it has penises in it. It's obviously evil.
Sure does.
I almost went with this one because this review of the boys is insane. This series fits into the populist rebranding of the CIA as a squeaky clean crime-fighting organization fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. Nope, read The Old Boys, The American Elite, and the Origins of the CIA. That's the review of the boys.
Yeah, the boys, the famous CIA fan Garth fucking
Oh,
Ennis.
yeah, that comics is so pro CIA, man.
Oh,
Like,
God. Oh.
do you think that person has read the comic? I don't think so. I don't think that person has read the comic. I think he's going off somebody's description of the comic that's like super wrong.
Yeah, I think
Because,
it's like it's someone with an axe to grind against the CIA, which I respect. And maybe they heard about the boys and they read the premise and said, "Oh no, the masses need to be told about the truth about the CIA, and they need to learn about the real boys, the old boys, the proper book." And now I'm terrified of Googling that book because I'm sure it's going to be about how the CIA was created by like reptilians.
Odds are high that that's a conspiracy theory book of some kind. Like, I unfortunately didn't find too many reviews that were just like total crackpot. Like, oh, this contradicts Time Cube, which is like the accurate philosophy of the universe. You know, that's a good. That's probably going to be my review for the next Jonathan Hickman comic. Is that it doesn't like follow the Time Cube logic. But yeah, no. So many of these are just boring. Like so many of these bad reviews are just boring. Like, oh, this sucks. The art and the story are bad. Like, yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, let's do another one. So this is from Baron, and this is once again. This is a very famous comic again. And this is what Baron has to say. Some pretty cool twists and turns, but nothing really new. The artwork is good. Some lazy writing, especially at the end. Read it once, won't read it twice. This is a comic. I will give you another hint for this. It's boring. It has twists and turns. This has recently had an adaptation that had a fairly big, at least it was talked about for a bit. But it is not the boys again, I can say that.
Had an adaptation recently.
Good artwork. Been turned into a show or movie, maybe. Lazy writing. This is a comic that you have guessed tonight, but that it hasn't been correct guess, but you have guessed this before.
Okay, that's difficult. I can't remember what we guessed already. Tank Girl?
So is it Kick-Ass this time?
No, this is Sweet Tooth.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my god! Lazy writing. My God.
But it
Well,
has some good twists and turns, though.
it has good twists and turns, but lazy
Lazy writing is
writing.
insane. Oh my God. Both the show and the comic are masterpieces. Okay, they're both.
How
I
does
mean, that's probably Jeff Lemire's best comic ever. I would say.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
can't. I don't think he's done a better one so far.
no, it's amazing. It's wonderful.
the
It's
horrible moment when you realize you're sharing a world with these people?
Lazy writing, my
lazy
God.
writing. That's the part. Like, oh, especially at the end. Like, oh no, it was so disappointing at the end. I tried to find a funny review for Chew, but like all of the reviews for Chew that are bad just like start by talking about the abilities of the main character, and like there is only one comic that is about a guy that can get psychic images from eating things. So the reviews are like immediately give away what it is. But there are a lot of bad reviews for that comic as well, though, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on where you are. Let's see. I think we're we're about to reach the end of this. We're gonna see. I think I have one more down here. Let's see what we still have that we have looked at. We've done. We've been through this. We've been through this. Unfortunately, I couldn't find all of the bad reviews that I was hoping for. I really wanted to find like a bad Astro City review. There are none. All of the Astro City reviews that are bad are just about that the binding is bad for the books, and it's like, yeah, okay, sure. I mean, that's not something I can really comment on here. Let's see. I had this list here. Maybe I should just go with a really funny one that I don't think that you guys have read. Yeah, let's just go with this because it's funny. Here we go. Here we go. This is one of the best reviews. I don't think either of you have read this comic, but I had to include this review in this list because you're going to find out why. This is a 2-star. It's from A. Botnick. Maybe somebody related to Dr. Robotnik, like maybe a Sonic fan? I don't know. And here's how it starts out. It starts out with, if Gandalf did drugs and had a love child with Lucian Greaves, it would be this. If you like good plotting and characters, avoid this book. The jokes are forced and predictable. Basically, it's a weak D&D story with typecast satanic characters designed to indoctrinate kids to think that women are stronger than men, that they should experiment with heavy psychedelic drugs and booze for recreation, and heavy on shallow lesbian relationships. I would recommend this swill to anyone, and it looks like Image has sold out for the New World Order. New World Order is capitalized, so you know
Glory?
that this is...
Oh.
No, I'm not done yet. It's one more sentence. Ugh. The artwork isn't horrible, however. Nothing to write home about, but passable. Just skip it and go read the Sandman series by Gaiman. Oh, that didn't age well. Oh boy. What is it? What do you think this is? It's fantasy.
Well, Glory.
They talk about Dungeons and Dragons. They talk about Gandalf having a love child with Lucian Greaves. But it's also filled with lesbians, and it has lefty propaganda.
Wicked and Divine. Wicked and Divine.
I'm gonna say it's Die.
You're both wrong. It's Rat Queens.
Oh, who gives a shit?
I know you haven't read that one, but it's so funny. If you know roughly what that comic is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not inaccurate to say that it has lesbians in it and such. I mean, like that's the idea of it, right?
It's D&D.
But it's D&D. But it's just I just included that because it has like all of the fucking like garbage, garbage criticism.
All the buzzwords.
Yeah, all the buzzwords at once. Yeah, oh, that's indoctrinating the kids. What kid is going to read Rat Queens? That's a mature audience's comic.
I love it also because it's like, oh, this comic is another arm of the New World Order. The New World Order, yeah, publishing fucking Rat Queens.
Yeah, from Image. Because comic books are like read by so many people and are like if you're going to go after something, go after Dogman, because that's something that like millions of kids read.
That horrible tool of the New World Order, Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh god. Do you think anybody has do you think that there are people out there who think that Dave Pilkey is like a Satanist for Dogman?
Probably.
This is a big world, man. This is a big world full of people. But I also adore this review because it's like this. This book is indoctrinating and hypnotizing and corrupting the minds of our young. But yeah, the art is pretty good though. Like, we're
Yeah.
banging.
Yep. I mean,
Listen,
that's like the Eternals review again. Like, oh, this is a horrible fucking movie. Like, I hate this, but okay, it's got diversity and then good. It has representation, so good on them. I do like a lunatic who like includes some kind of positive thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels so cute. It's almost endearing.
Yeah, that's like an old school lunatic. All right. I feel that maybe this was a little bit too hard tonight.
But that was
It
the
was-
point.
Yes,
This is the ass showing stream.
the idea was mostly that we were gonna like expose a little bit like which ones have you read, which ones haven't you read, and then just make you horrified by the reviews of things that you have read because you can't guess what it is.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. So Judge, you got 9 points, and Elvis, you got 3 points tonight. I think Judge has like hacked the system somehow. He's
A little bit has to have been.
He's tapped. Sometimes I think he's like tapping into like his inner Amazon customer. He's gonna go when this is done. He's gonna go off and like write a review for like the latest Batgirl issue and just complain about like that there are women in it or something.
This comic is trying to indoctrinate people into believing that women can throw punches when everyone knows that women are physically unable to close their fists.
Exactly. It's trying to indoctrinate people into think that Lady Shiva is a good character.
Well, that's me. That's me. That's my agenda, motherfucker. Stop
Exactly.
exposing me.
Exactly. All right. Did you guys at least have fun?
Yeah.
I had fun. Do you guys want to do the same thing we did last time, where we tried to like come up with an Amazon review for a comic?
No, I can't even
Nah,
think
too
of it.
late. Too late.
This says wiped. I can't even. The depths.
Your brain
Yeah.
has been
You're just
melted.
shattered tonight.
You are a husk of a man.
Yes.
The bar is so low. I can't. Even
Oh, the bar here was so low. Like those boys reviews, just like. There were so many funny reviews that were just. I mean, I only wanted to do one review that was like, "Oh, the show is better than the comic," because like there are so many like that on the boys, especially,
So
but
many.
also on Invincible, on anything that has an adaptation in there. Like Invincible and the boys were the two big ones where all the low-rated reviews were like, "Oh, just watch the show; it's so much better." Like, don't read this shit. Like. But it's also funny the people who write in the reviews that like the comic is like left leaning. Just go watch the show. Like there's not that much difference from the show, and like politics wise, I don't get it. People are stupid. People are very, very stupid.
Yeah, bless him
Yeah.
for that.
100%.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's,
Anyway, this was
I'm
a lot
just
of fun.
shocked. I'm just shocked there wasn't a single one for Sin City. Like I was expecting that one. I had that one in the chamber.
I tried to find good reviews for Frank Miller comics, but as I said, almost all of the bad reviews talked about racism
Yeah,
and stuff
easy,
like
right?
that. And I don't really want to just endlessly have like Frank Miller, like Jesus, the 300 reviews were like, oh, Frank Miller is like a racist asshole. That was all of the reviews basically, and like that gets a little bit monotonous. And it's also,
Yeah.
yes, I don't know. I just wanted to find like a funny Sin City one that was just like, oh, the drawings are so bad. Like, why is it only in black and white? Or like, why is this one guy yellow? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
All the hands are fucked up.
Oh yeah. Like the Rob Liefeld of Frank Miller. Like, oh, he can't draw hands, and Rob Liefeld can't draw feet.
Yeah.
Ah, my goodness. It was. I still had fun with this, but I think that the next time we're going to go back to a little bit more like famous corporate comics again.
We're gonna sell out again.
We're gonna sell out again. So fucking. We've been like creator owned. We've embraced our creator
Our
right
inner
and all of
indie.
that stuff.
Our
Absolutely.
inner hipsters.
We're very hipsters. I mean, I can recommend almost all of the comics that we talked about tonight. What about you guys?
Oh yeah, no, almost all of them are
Yeah,
bangers, man.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
mean, like go read the boys. If you don't think that the boys comic is good, please read it before you make a review on it,
And
please.
read it and don't be a hypocrite because again, like, oh man, the show is so good because like but it's also so raunchy and fun. Like, come on, come on. If you're gonna say the show is like over the top and gross and that's good, then you can't blame the comic for also being over the top and gross. Okay,
No, but you gotta understand that the show is live action, and everyone knows that live action is always better than comics.
it's more
Yep.
sophisticated.
Of course, it's more
It's
adult, it's
classy.
more grown up.
It's classy.
Oh yeah, I had a mutual who was like quote tweeting something earlier today, which was just somebody who said that like, oh, comics are like the lowest form of art. And it's like, oh my god, like that's the whole thing about like genres and mediums and shit like that. Again, like if you say that comics are bad, then you're also saying that manga is bad because manga is comics. Like spoiler alert, like sequential storytelling is still comics. Ah,
Also, also, you post that online, and you are actually participating in what's the actual lowest form of art, which is social media.
oh yeah,
Posting.
exactly. Also, like man, I'm so tired of that entire argument that like oh, like the shows and movies are so much better than like reading and comics and stuff like that, you know, because it's more popular, like it's more accessible to people and stuff like that. But it's like it's different forms of mediums. Like you can't do everything. That's Alan Moore's entire thing. You have to understand you can do things in comics you can't do in a movie or in a TV show.
Hmm.
And that's why Alan Moore doesn't like adaptations of his work. It's not because he hates superheroes. Spoiler alert.
Also, no, you'd be hard pressed to find something like that with books.
Yeah.
You would be hard pressed to find someone who will say that the movie is better than the book with the same passion that they say that the movie or the show is better than the comic.
Mm.
And that, I think, tells you a few things about society.
Is it possible? Are you saying that we live in a society?
Oh,
Unfortunately, we
we
do.
live in a giant society. Society
Oh,
city over here.
we live in a society, and we're so. If I probably should ask, are either of you going to turn into the Joker after this one? Like Elvis, are
No,
you close to your Joker moment?
a little
Uh,
bit, but
A little
I'm a
bit.
little bit.
I'm
Well,
at, I'm at like
I prepared. I prepared for this.
I had to
Thankfully,
back off on the
45%
45%. I had to back
Joker.
off on the boys' reviews because otherwise might have pushed that percentage higher for both of you.
we could be here all day. We could be here all day, man.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, man. Like we
Oops,
could do
all
an
boys.
entire evening just with boys' reviews. Uh, oh goodness. All right. That's everything I had for you guys tonight.
Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
work in gathering these gems.
Yeah, it's fun to do. I enjoy it. It's eating away at my sanity every time I do it. Like I can feel myself going insane slowly when I read this. I can feel my IQ draining, but I'm doing it for you guys.
Fabulous.
All right. So, I guess we should plug and get the hell out of here. So, let's see here. Bullski, why don't you let us know where they can find you?
Right. So I am Comrade Bullski on Twitter, but I am also, more importantly, Comrade Bullski on Blue Sky, which I am a little bit more active on right now. Otherwise, you can hear me occasionally here. There are older episodes where I also guest star that you should look up, especially the previous episode of this, where we guess comics. That's a banger, I think. And that's basically me, Judge.
Same here. I'm Judge Anon on Twitter, on Tumblr, and on Blue Sky. And I'm also slowly trying to ease off into doing more stuff on Blue Sky. Please follow me there because yesterday I posted an absolutely massive thread on a subject that I bet none of you are going to guess except Bullski, who already read it. And
Except
I'm
for
going to
Bullski,
ask
who already
you,
read it and
and I'm
retweeted
going to
it.
ask both of you to not say anything about it. But I'm going to ask you if you're interested in seeing a massive, in-depth analysis of something you are absolutely not going to guess what it is. Please follow me on Blue Sky at judgeanon.blueskysocial.
And since you say we can't guess it, it's probably not going to be about Lady Shiva this time. Because
No,
everybody would guess that one.
Yeah. Any-
no.
Anyway, yes. Any last words before we head off?
We'll be back with this, definitely, the next time I have gathered up enough insane reviews and that I replenish my sanity points. We shall return. We shall do this again.
No problem. Thank you, and thank you everyone who's watching and listening. Glad to have you, and man, I'm gonna need to detox from this so badly. Anyway, thanks.
Have a
Have a
good
great
week,
one.
everyone.
Have a
Bye,
good week.
Mom.
Have a good week.